The Studio Cuts Podcast with WRRV.
The Hudson Valley's Alternative 92.7, 96.9 WRRV. It's Val, time for another episode of our Studio Cuts podcast. This is when we have the chance to talk to some of the artists that have been featured on our Sunday Studio Cut show about what they've got going on, what's new in their music world. This week, I had the chance to chat with Rocs ahead of the release of his debut album. I'm so excited that you joined us again. You interviewed with us, I want to say it was back in May. He was talking about like, oh, what can we expect this year? And you were like, oh, big things. But it was nothing like this week, which is a really big week for you, right?
Yeah, no, it's a lot going on at once, and I'm really excited. So big things for sure.
Absolutely. So again, we're so excited to have you again. The album is like, 4 days away?
Oh, it's crazy. I haven't even thought about it like that.
No? Well, we'll put some stress on you. How are you feeling? I mean, I hope I didn't make you nervous right now, but.
No, I'm excited for everything to come out. I'm excited for people to finally hear this music. I'm excited to just shake things up and put out some really big, bad records.
I have to tell you, I got a sneak peek only this morning. Like at 9 o'clock, my email went off and it was like, if you want to take a listen to it before you chat. I was like, yeah, I do.
Oh, man.
Very good.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You've got the goods early. That's crazy.
Which we never do, or at least it never comes down to me. Like other people get it and I'm like, thanks you guys. But it went directly to me this time. I have to tell you, MMC, I've been listening to that one over and over.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Do you have a favorite track on the album yet? Or
it's tough because they all kind of represent such different parts of like my musical DNA, and they all mean different things to me personally and emotionally. So I can't choose. Don't make me choose.
Okay, I won't. I mean, I'll tell you that. So far, that's my favorite one. And I read that Queen was a big influence for you growing up. That song reminds me, like, it gives me like a little like Killer Queen influence. I was like, oh, is that what I hear in there? I don't know if that's me analyzing it.
No, I mean, I think all those things I grew up on and that I listen to still to this day, like they all kind of sink into my musical DNA, and they all come out at different times and in different ways. So without a doubt, there's a certain grandiosity in that song that I could definitely trace a line back to the OG.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously you've released some like other music before, but this is the first full length. This is your debut album. Is the pressure on? Is it, I know you wrote this, it was like, you did it on your own. You wrote it, you recorded it with not a lot of outside help. So like, what was that like? How do you feel?
Yeah, like doing it on my own allowed me the creative freedom to just literally do whatever I wanted and to make it so personal. And for every single note and for every single lyric to be directly from my soul to the listener. But it was a tough process. It was a lonely process. I think it nearly killed me. But at the end of the day, like, I couldn't believe more in the album that I made. And I'm so excited for everyone to finally hear it.
I think, like I mentioned, I think they'll be impressed. It really is. A lot of your music really hits people where some other artists may not dig that deep into like personal stuff and make you really think about like life that way. So I think I can say thank you. And I appreciate how personal your music is.
Oh, thank you. That means the world to me, Val. Thank you.
I was reading an article that you categorize it as not your average rock album.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah.
Is that kind of your like mantra of like making music?
Oh, absolutely. Like for me, it's all about constantly pushing and challenging what it means to be a rock artist in 2021. For me, it's all about constant innovation while at the same time always having a very personal and emotional thread to all the music. So when it comes to song structures and production techniques, I'm always exploring and pushing what I can do. And in a sense, like that to me is the mission, to never do anything down the middle, to always take the biggest swing possible. And either I'm going to knock it out of the park or I'm going to fall straight on my butt. And anything that's a base hit, I'm not into.
Okay. That's a good way to approach it. And you'll learn either way, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You're like, we got to go this way next time, or it's a grand slam even.
Yeah, I think Queen and Bohemian Rhapsody, you don't just get like a bunch of middle of the road songs and then all of a sudden they write Bohemian Rhapsody. It's like years and years of taking those big swings and those big chances to finally one day get a Bohemian Rhapsody. And I think a lot of artists are scared to do that because they're so obsessed with the immediate feedback of the music they put out. But constantly keeping that long-term vision is so important to me.
I'm sure you watched the Queen Bohemian Rhapsody movie, right?
I did, yeah.
What did you think about that part specifically when they kept turning down Bohemian Rhapsody and they were like, well,
I mean, it's par for the course, it's a story of my life. Just growing up here in New York and like playing shows and always being the odd kid out on the bill, pretending I was playing to 80,000 people when I was playing to like a bartender and my cousin, and just kind of like, but staying with that vision, you know what I mean? And just like, no matter what other people think, no matter what other people, especially in the industry, tell you, like that's paramount. And it can be tough to do, but I support it fully.
You've got to really have tough skin. I mean, you have to go in there knowing that some people might say, no, thanks.
Oh, yeah. Or just be like so blindly faithful in what you're doing. That's a little combination of both. A little megalomania, a little bit of a thick skin, and a whole lot of grit, I guess.
That's awesome. That's like a Hallmark card or some sort of like motivational poster, right?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you had a bad day, you got rejected by a label, here, have a Des Rocs pick me up card.
That's awesome. All right, we're gonna put some copyright on that right here.
Go for it.
So just a couple seconds ago, you mentioned, playing for your cousin and the bartender, and now you're playing Firefly this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when you spoke to us a couple months ago, you were like, there's something big, but I can't say it. Was that it?
Oh, no, there's still something big, but I can't say
Bigger?
It. There's always big stuff coming. And maybe some of it's real and maybe some of it's in my head, but I never know the difference between the two, to be honest.
Okay. But I mean, Firefly is big.
Yes, I'm very excited.
And 2 shows this weekend. I know you're doing 2 stages.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Damn.
I have that attention. We usually send listeners to Firefly, so that's one of our big exciting events.
Yeah, I'm doing a Bud Light small stage show on Friday, and then I'm doing the main stage next day, Saturday.
And then your headlining tour.
Yes.
Also a big one. What does that feel like going into like your tour that you crafted?
It's crazy, especially just given the circumstances under which I'm doing it. But it's very exciting, and just being able to play for like more than 45 minutes is going to be pretty thrilling for me.
How do you approach a show that you're obviously playing more than 45 minutes? That you're not doing solo. I mean, you did the album by yourself, but you have a team working with you on the tour.
Oh, yeah. Live, it's a full band of just like my closest friends and musical collaborators for many years here in New York. And we like to put on a good time. Yeah, I don't like really playing just by myself. It's more fun with other people.
I'm sure. And so do you all go on the road together? Like, are you all crashing in one bus, or is it?
Oh, yeah, we're in the van life. You know what I mean? So we're just literally rubber to pavement. Yeah.
Okay. So that'll be exciting for you. Is there any one spot that's on your stop list with this tour that you're like, I can't wait to play this venue?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Troubadour in Los Angeles is so iconic. You kind of got that Rocket Man moment of Elton John flying away from the piano in that movie. Right. And I'm going to try and replicate it. Let's see.
Are you really?
I mean, if I can get my hands on a piano and some keyboard, maybe, yeah.
I'm so gullible. I'm like, really? You're going to do that? That's awesome.
I want to fly. It's my dream.
That's great. Now, you've obviously played, you've toured with a number of artists. We talked about the Stones last time that we spoke to you earlier this year. What was touring with Grandson like? We've worked with him a number of times. He's done some stuff for us digitally, virtually, and he puts on a really cool performance.
Yeah, he's a great guy and a good friend. He took me out on my first Des Rocs tour, and I'm super grateful for that.
Awesome. What else? I want to make sure that I hit all of my stuff. Is it true that you have a law degree? Oh,
yeah, I have a bunch of degrees and stuff. I like to learn a lot. So, in my spare time, I like to study and read quite a bit. I'm a bit of a bookworm in that sense. Okay. And I'm a little bit of a Renaissance guy in that way.
Do you think you'll ever practice law, or do you think that's just kind of like, I have it, it's cool?
I'm too focused on the art and making music all day and all night. So doing that is of no interest to me.
Okay, but you have it, and that's a
Yeah.
really big accomplishment, I'd say.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Is the room that you're in right now where you worked on the album?
Most of it, yeah. A lot of it was made in my bedroom, and then the rest of it was made in this little studio here in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. A lot of memories in this room, and we're cleaning it out right now to get ready for tour, which is a weird feeling. It's like the last episode of a sitcom where the character like looks into the empty apartment and turns the light and closes the door, and then that's it. That's how I feel right now.
Leaving home, it feels like the closing of Friends, like when they like shut the door and they're like, well, that's it. It's gotta be a weird feeling. I mean, there's probably a lot of attachment to all that you've accomplished in that space.
Yeah, I mean, so much of the album was made in here, and it's been 18 months since I've been on the road, so it is a weird feeling.
Now, have you done a live show yet since COVID, or
No.
this weekend will be the first one?
This will be my first time performing for people. Yeah, we've done some live streams and things like that, but nothing quite matches up to actually playing for real fans.
Is it a weird feeling to get back out on stage, even though it's what you work for, you've done it before, but after all this time?
I mean, I think I'll be able to tell you better once I step foot on that first stage. To me, it's like so in my blood, and it's what I was put on this earth to do. But at the same time, there is like a little bit of I haven't done this in a minute feeling. I think I'll be pretty winded a few songs in. So yeah, we'll see.
That's awesome. As far as, I know we hate to talk about it, the COVID thing, but like in addition to writing an album and working on an album, is there anything you picked up, like a hobby, a trait? I was talking to one of the guys from Milky Chance last week, and he was like, yeah, I took up pottery. I never would have expected this like big German dude to be like, yeah, I have a wheel in my house now.
Yeah, I wish I was allowed the freedom of mind to just kind of go explore non-musical things. I think if anything, I became like hyper obsessed with the music and making the album and all the songs and the production. I wish I came out of this with a great hobby. I would love to make some like clay mugs for tour or something.
Right. Well, apparently Milky Chance is who you need to talk to.
If I'm at a festival, I'm gonna hit him up. Like, you guys got any free bowls or mugs I could use?
He's like, I totally have a bunch of mugs. That's what we do now. Like, this is so people were talking about like, oh, I started baking banana bread. And he's like, yeah, we throw clay now. I guess, a real good person in a real bad place is just a couple days away. So I guess we'll close where we started. Any final thoughts on the couple days to the eve of your album?
Yeah, I mean, enjoy the quiet before the storm. That's what I'll say. Like, buckle up when you listen to this thing. It's a journey from front to back, and it means a lot to me. So I can't wait for the world to hear it.
I'm excited for everyone to hear it. I'm thankful that your people let me get a sneak peek of it. I definitely have had it on all morning, and I really appreciate the music, everything that you put into it, and for taking the time to chat with us today. It was really cool to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it enormously.
And good luck Friday, and good luck at Firefly. And on the tour, we'll see you in New York. Is it November, December?
November 4th.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hometown show. Coming back.
Awesome. And you're doing like a big release for the album then too?
There will definitely be some partying. I don't know if it's gonna be formal, but we'll see.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. You're so cool to talk to.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And good luck this week. We'll be thinking about you.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Again, my thanks to Des Rocs for chatting with us. A real good person in a real bad place. His debut album is now available. Thank you for hanging out for another edition of our Studio Cuts podcast with the Hudson Valley's alternative, WRRV.
The Studio Cuts podcast with WRRV.